Hey there, what's up guys? It's me here, Dion, and I'm so excited for today's video because I'm gonna help you figure out who your soulmate is. I'm sure you've watched a lot of videos by now of people telling you what kind of qualities they will have or maybe what they will look like, but I've personally never come across any video telling you their name. So this is what we're gonna be figuring out together. I will be telling you what their name could be. There's a lot of potential names that your soulmate might have, and we're going to narrow them down to a sheet of paper. That's the reason why we have 8 different piles, because there's just so many names in this world, and there's no way I could even include all of them in 8 piles. But I did ask the universe for some guidance. I asked the universe to please make everyone choose the right pile intuitively that will lead them to their soulmate's name. In the end, I did my prayer. I asked the universe to give me the right names for each pile, so I'm gonna have to rely on that. That's all I can do. This is more of an experiment, I would say. Take everything with a grain of salt. Don't put your life on the line for these names, but yeah, I really do hope that you have fun watching. So if you're new to pick a card readings, if you just so happen to find this video, this is what you're going to do. In front of you, you can see these 8 different images. You're just going to have to tap into your intuition. I want you to really focus for a moment. You don't even have to worry about it because I know that you are going to make the right decision. Choose one of these piles. This one will be number 1, this one will be number 2, number 3, 4, 5, 6, number 7, and number 8, alright? So the timestamps to all these different groups are going to be in the description as well as on the video itself. You can simply select the chapter of your desired part, okay, of your desired reading. It's not really a reading, it's more of a channeling this time. So yeah, I'm really glad to have you here today and make your decision. You are going to pick the right pile that's going to lead you to your soulmate's name. I'll see you at your reading and we're going to get started with the first one. Hello there and welcome to everyone who chose the first image. If this is the one you chose, then this will be for you. Alright, I'm gonna just explain to you what we're about to do. I already channeled the names of your guys' soulmates, so I'm gonna be writing them down for you to see. And last but not least, I'm going to be giving you some important numbers. We're gonna look at some numerology and what numbers stick out, what might be important there. Maybe we can get an age as to when you're gonna meet them or an age difference, okay? And I do want to give a little disclaimer. Not all of these names that I'm about to tell you about are going to resonate with you. Remember that this is a general reading, so there might just be one particular name that is going to be meant for you. So you're going to have to trust your own gut instinct and ask yourself, well, is this one meant for me or is this meant for someone else who chose this pile? All right, and one more thing, if any of these names do use a different variant in your own culture, then feel free to translate the name, and it is most likely going to resonate as well, because a single name can have so many different variants, and you're going to see I'm going to tell you a bunch of them as well. Let's get started. You're the first group that I'm doing this with, and I'm really excited for you guys. I cannot wait to share with you the names that I got, and we're about to start. For you guys, I did get a strong female type of energy at first, and I got the name Catherine and all of its variants. So I'm going to write it down for you. The first name is Catherine in regards to your soulmate. So of course then it could also be Kate or Katrina, something like that. Kathleen. Or just Trina or Tina. That's the first group of names. Okay, got a big K, Kate, Tree, Katrina, Catherine, all the names that sound like that. Or if you speak a different language, there's going to be an equivalent to this name as well. So then I did channel a more Slavic type of name, and the name that I got for you, interestingly enough, is Svetlana, another female name, or it could also be the short form, which would be Lana, or maybe even Alana. And then I did my own research and I found out that this name, the more English version of this name would be Helen. So this is in regards to your soulmate for some of you guys. So we've got Svetlana or just Lana, maybe Alana or Helen. There's a lot of female energy in this pile. So I wouldn't be surprised if you do have a female soulmate, even if you're romantically attracted to men. I do think you're going to have at least one female soulmate, because soulmates can also be platonic. They don't have to be romantic. Okay, so the next group of names, I didn't really get a name in particular, but I had this image of beautiful flowers in my head, especially a rose and what is it called, the pink flower that we even got an emoji of, like cherry blossom. So I am thinking, whatever language you speak, translate the word flower into your language, or the word rose or cherry or blossom or something like that. I didn't get a particular name. I'm just going to write down Rose. Maybe some of you guys have a soulmate named Rose, or I also got cherry blossom. That's not really a name. Or maybe if you translate the word flower itself into your own native language, you're gonna end up with a name that your soulmate might have. I'm also getting that your soulmate just smells really, really good. I was immediately put at ease and drawn to this person because of their natural scent that just smelled so good. Or maybe they do use a particular perfume or cologne that makes them irresistible. Next up, I do believe this is a Slavic group of names again. I got the name Daria, or the male version would be Dario or Darius for your soulmate. And then also Dasha, okay? So for some of you guys, this might be the name of your soulmate, all right? Now, if we're moving on, I'm getting some really Arabic sounding names. I got the name Amina, or the male version would be Amin. Amin. That's the next group of names I got for you guys. Amina and Amin. I do believe that this is meant for someone here watching. Maybe it's you. And I've got more Arabic sounding names, but more to that later. The next big group of names that I'm getting is Alex and all of its variants and diminutives. So the big group of names for you is Alex. So that could be Alexander, or it could be from Alexis. Big name that I'm getting here, Alexis. It could also be Alessia, Alesso, Alessandro, Alexa, or Lexi. And I did get Sikander as well. Again, if you speak any other language, translate this name or any of these names into your own language. This was like a big group of names that I got, everything around the name Alex. So maybe you do have a soulmate named Alex. They certainly, I feel like no matter what the full name is, they certainly could go by the name, by the nickname of Alex. That's what I'm thinking. So your soulmate might have a nickname of Alex. Okay, then the next big group of names I got was all around George. George. That's the next big group of names. That could also be Georgia if it's a female name, or Gina. Then even shorter, it would be Gia or Gio. Gia or Gio, that might be your soulmate's nickname, Gia or Gio. Then I also got Gigi or Jorge. So, oh yeah, Yuri as well, Yuri. Your soulmate might have one of these names. All right, and then I have one last pair of names, and that is another Arabic pair of names. I got a really specific name. I got Rashid and Rashida, if it's the female form. So it's Rashid and Rashida. And I really, really know that this is meant for one of you that's listening into this pile. I got the names Rashid or Rashida for your soulmate. And that was it with the names. So have a look at all of these names again. And if necessary, you can translate it into your own language. Also, one last thing, when thinking about the flower, I did get the feeling that this could be a Turkish name. I don't know why, but I got the feeling that if someone here is of Turkish descent, then your soulmate's name could very well be a Turkish name about a flower. I don't speak Turkish, so I don't know a lot about that, but that's like a random message, random thing that popped up for me. Yeah, that's all I got for you. Now let's have a look at some numbers. I'm going to ask Spirit to please show us some important numbers in this connection. Okay? This person and their soulmate. What are some important numbers here? So first of all, we've got the number 8. The number 8. What are some important numbers in this connection? The number 3. What are some important numbers in this connection? And the number 16. I'm immediately thinking August and March. Maybe that's when you'll meet them. Or maybe that's like their birthday. Okay? Then I'm also getting that there could be a 3-year age gap or an 8-year age gap. This could, because these numbers could also signify like age differences between you and your soulmate, maybe even 16 years. The 8th, the 3rd, or the 16th is really important in this connection. So you can write it down and see what happens. You can also take note of some of the names I mentioned that you feel like resonate with you, because a lot of these names you're gonna immediately know, no, that's not my soulmate, that's not meant for me. But on other ones, you're gonna think, this could definitely be meant for me. This could be my name. This could be my soulmate's name, all right? So trust your own gut instinct with this. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you did enjoy this type of content, consider subscribing to my channel. I've got a lot of exciting stuff planned, a lot of original ideas that I do want to make videos on, and I really hope that you can join the family. Also, follow my Instagram if that's something that you're looking to do. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. I love all of you, and I hope that you can find your soulmate soon. I hope this was helpful. Goodbye. Hey there to everyone who chose the second group. If you felt drawn to this image, then this will be for you, and we're about to find out what your soulmate's name is. So I'm just going to explain real quick what we're going to do. I've already channeled all the names possible that your soulmate might have, and I'm about to write them down and show it to you. And then last but not least, we're going to be looking at some important numbers. That could be an age or maybe an age difference, an important date that has to do with this connection, with your soulmate connection. All right, I do want to give a little disclaimer before we start off. You have to remember that this is a general reading, so not every single one of these names is going to resonate with you. There might, in fact, just be one name in particular that's meant for you. So if you feel like this doesn't sound like my soulmate at all, then it's not going to be your soulmate. Just simply take what resonates, as always, in pick-a-card readings. In this one especially. And another thing I want to mention is that if you do speak another language, you might want to translate this name or the meaning of that name into your language as well, and that could also be the name of your soulmate. Okay, I do have a lot of different names from different cultures, but I do want to say that anyway. You might want to translate, or if there's like a word or a common name that sounds different in your language, you might want to translate it in your language because one name can have so many variants. All right, that's what I wanted to say. And now let's get started. I'm really excited for this. We're going to start off with the possible names that your soulmate might have. The first group of names, big group of names that I got is an Arabic group of names around the name Khalil. Khalil, that's the first name I got, or it could be Khalid for your soulmate. So someone of you listening in here has a soulmate of the name Khalil or Khalid. The female version would be Khalila or Khalida. Then optionally, I did also get like Khalid. I guess that's like a variant of the same name. So for some of you guys listening in, this is the name of your soulmate, all right? I've got many more to go, but just saying, if it resonates, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So the next group of name is a Slavic group of names that I got, all with the prefix drag. Okay, drag something. So it could be Dragana, that's the name I got, or Dragoslav, that's another name that I got, really interesting. Then I've also got Dragon or Drago. I did write down some notes, so that's why I still know. Yeah, this is the second big group of names that I've got, and this is meant for one of you that's listening. Maybe you, maybe not. Then next up, that was really interesting. I got a specific name, and that is Emma. Or I guess for some of you, it could be Emily, and I got like a specific message. I got the message that some of you have a childhood friend named Emma or Emily, and that is your soulmate. That I'm meant to tell you this right now. So this could or could not resonate for you. A childhood friend named Emma or Emily, and if not, then it could be a regular person that you're going to meet. If that's not a childhood friend, your soulmate's name could still be Emma or Emily, okay? That's what I'm really getting. The male version would be Emmett for this. Emmett. All right, that's like the third group of names that I channeled for you guys. Now, if we're moving on, we've got the name Eugene or Eugenia for your soulmate. Eugene or Eugenia, that's what I really got. And the short version could be just Gene. So for some of you guys, your soulmate's name could be Eugene or Eugenia, or maybe they go by Gene, maybe that's like a nickname for them. Then I've got another big group, not really a group, it's like different variants of the same name, all of them revolving around Kim. So this is meant for someone here that's listening. Your soulmate might go by Kim, and that could be that could come from Kimberly, or maybe another nickname that they have is Kimmy. And then, interestingly enough, I did also get Lee by itself. So your soulmate could have a first, middle, or last name of Lee, okay? Lee. That could be their first, middle, or last name, Lee. That's what I got. I did not really go for last names, like surnames at all. I was more about channeling first names. But I did get Lee for some reason as well, maybe because it is in Kimberly as well. I feel like all of this is sort of connected. But for some of you guys, your soulmate might have Lee in their name. First, middle, last. Then the next name that I channeled for you, for your group, was Simon. Simon. The female version would be Simone or Simona. Again, I just want to say if any of these names sound different in your native language, then feel free to translate them. And it is most likely going to resonate as well. It is still going to be true. Then I've got two more groups. Then I've got like a very, very masculine energy that was coming in, and someone's soulmate here goes by the name of Mark, or any names associated with Mark. That could be Marco, Marcus. What else did I get? Marek, Marciano, or Marciana. I don't think there really is a female version of Mark. I guess we could use Marciana in that case, but the prefix Mark was really, really strong for your group. So a lot of you guys have a soulmate with one of these names, with Mark in their name, okay? Mark, it is for you. And then we've got one more group of names. It is a Hindu name, yes, it is a Hindu name, and it is as follows: Madhav, or female version would be Madhava, or Madhavi. I did a little bit of research because I don't know a lot about Hindu names, so this is what I got for your name: Madhav, Madhava, Madhavi. I do believe that this is meant for someone that's listening in again. So now that's it with the names. Now let's get to the numbers. I'm just going to ask Spirit to please give us some important numbers in this connection. For everyone who felt connected to the golden image, what are some important numbers of them and their soulmate, please? First of all, we've got the number 20. That might be an age. I'm immediately getting age 20. Okay, maybe that's the age when you're meeting this person, or you met this person, or I feel like that's definitely like an age thing. So what's an important number in this connection between this person and their soulmate? Number 2. I'm getting either February or like a 2-year age difference, or maybe the 2nd of a month. It could also be the 20th of a month for some of you. Then what's an important number in this connection? Number 6. Okay. In terms of years, now I'm thinking it could be 2022 or 2026 that you are meeting this person, or that where something really important is going to happen with this person. Then I'm also getting you could be meeting this person in February or in June. That's another thing. Or on the 20th, on the 2nd, or on the 6th of any month. Also, there could be a 2 or a 6-year age gap. Okay, so that's all the possible meanings of these numbers that I'm currently picking up on. Or maybe you know about something that I don't. Then good for you. So yeah, that was your reading. I really hope that you did enjoy this. And if you did, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, because I do have a lot more cool stuff planned, a lot of original ideas that I want to make videos on that I know you're going to like if you like this one. So with that being said, if you want, follow my Instagram. That would mean a lot. And yeah, thank you so much guys for watching. It means so much to have you here on my channel. And I hope you find your soulmate soon. Goodbye. Hey there to everyone who chose the 3rd group. If this is the image that resonated with you the most, then this will be for you. So here's what we're going to do. I've already channeled the names that your soulmate is most likely going to have, and I'm about to write them all down for you. And after that, we're going to look at some important numerology, some important numbers. That could be an age, that could be a year, it could be age differences, or a date, an important date, all right? That has to do with you and your soulmate and your connection that you have. And before we get started, I do want to give a little disclaimer. You have to remember, as always, that this is a general reading, and therefore not all of these names are going to resonate with you. This is particularly important in this video because I'm going to be giving you a bunch of names. So obviously not every single one of these will be meant for you, but I do believe that at least one of these names that I'm about to tell you is meant for you. In particular, that you are meant to hear. Other of these names are going to be meant for someone else that's listening into this pile. You have to understand this. Good. And one more thing, if you do happen to speak another language, then feel free to translate any of these names into your native language and see if you can come up with another name. I do have names from various different cultures here, but I do want to say it anyway, okay? So if there happens to be a name that has a different meaning, or like that sounds different in your language, then it is most likely that name as well. It's still going to resonate. So one thing that I found really, really interesting about your pile in particular is that the universe didn't want to give me names that are too specific. With the other piles that I've done, I've gotten names that were like straight to the point, like this is the name and that's the name and this is going to be their soulmate's name. But for you, it was more metaphorical. I do have a few groups of names that are quite obvious as to what they mean and what they are. But for you guys, a lot of these are quite metaphorical. I had to literally play a guessing game as to what that was supposed to be. Like the universe was giving me stuff, but I didn't really know what it was trying to tell me. But I did get some very obvious ones, and we're gonna start off with those. First of all, for your soulmate, I've got the names BB and Vivi. So that can come from, that's most likely their nickname, and that can come from Bianca or Bibiana or Vivian or Viviana. That's the first group of names that I got for your pile. For someone here that's listening in, this is the name of your soulmate, and they go by BB and Vivi. That's really important. Their nickname is BB and Vivi. That's kind of like what I was able to grasp. Then this is like the nickname that they use most of the time, and this is likely their full name. So BB and Vivi. And then I've also got the name Gwen and Gwyn. Or it could even be Finn. That's like a male name. So why all these names? All these names kind of come from the same word meaning white. And the word white, or the color white, is really important in regards to your soulmate. If we're looking at this name in particular, there's multiple groups of names, but we're going to get to the other ones. This is the first group. Also, I meant to tell you that it could also be Wendy. And the color white is really important for some reason. Also, Bianca literally means white. So maybe your soulmate does have a last name that means white. Maybe it is white, or the color white in your language as a last name. That's another thing that I was able to pick up on. So feel free to translate the word white in your language, and that could be their first, middle, or last name as well. Otherwise, all of the names I just stated are relevant as well. Then the next thing I got was Earth. That's like all I got. I got Earth. That was really prominent, really prevalent with your soulmate. So I did a little research, and besides from them being an Earth sign, which is very likely, I did come across some names that actually mean Earth. And the first one was Terra, or Terra. And also the male version, I guess, would be Terran. Not sure why I didn't capitalize these. Then another name is Avani for your soulmate, Avani, or Adam. If we're talking about a guy, his name could be Adam for your soulmate. Then I've also got Eartha as a name. I did write down some notes, so that's why I keep looking over. Gaia also means Earth, so your soulmate could have the name Gaia. Then we've also got Bumi, I hope that's correct, Kun, and G. As far as I know, this is Indian, this is Chinese, and this is Korean. So this doesn't have to be their full name, but they might have this particular word, G or Kun, in their name. Maybe it is a name made up of multiple parts, and one of them is G or one of them is Kun. Okay, so that's like the second big group. Also, I got something about a Native American name. So your soulmate could also be Native American. That's what I got. And I looked up some names and I stumbled upon Talali. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. I really hope this is correct. Or Talalok. So that could also be relevant for someone here that's listening in. So that's like the second big group of names. Then the next one that I got was pretty simple and I didn't really get an explanation. I just heard God or good. That's also like I heard good or God. So this could be a nickname or a full name of one of your soulmates. With the word God, that could simply mean that your soulmate is named after a god. Maybe whatever religion, whatever beliefs you have, there is a god in that religion that this person, your soulmate, is named after. Next up, again, it really wasn't clear. Your group really has so many metaphors and so many there's more signs I saw than names I got, which is really weird because it worked better with the other groups. I just want to say that your soulmate likely has a really, really rare, unusual name, and that seems to be the consensus because that's why I didn't really get any specific ones. Your soulmate likely has a really unique and possibly ethnic name that I just wasn't able to pick up on. But nonetheless, I got a Hebrew name that is Nitzan. And I do think your soulmate could also be Jewish. That's what I was thinking, because I did get a lot of Hebrew names, or multiple Hebrew names. We're going to get to some more later on, but this is a name that I got in particular, and I looked it up, and it means flower bud. So think of the word flower bud, and you might want to translate that to your language as well and see if there's any names. I'm just going to write down flower bud. So then I, for some reason, it's not really a name either, maybe it is, but I got America. And I don't know why. That might mean your soulmate is American. And I don't know why this was strong with your pile. I did look it up and there is a name called Americo. That might be the name of your soulmate. Also there is Emery or Emric. That stems from the same group of words. American could actually be their nationality. That could be talking about where they're from. Your soulmate might be American. Okay? This is talking about multiple people, just so you know, okay? So your soulmate is not going to resonate with all of these things, obviously. I just want to say it once again before it gets confusing. And the next group I got, this was kind of more specific for your group, is everything evolving around the name Lily. So that could be Lillian or Lilith or Liliana or Liana. Okay, those are some names that are going to be relevant for some of you. Maybe you that's listening in. Your soulmate's name could be Lily, Lillian, Lilith, Liliana, or Liana. Something with a Lil or Lily. They could likely go by the nickname Lily. That's what I got. I would say your soulmate is using a nickname in their everyday life because their full name or their actual name is just too complicated for other people to pronounce, which I don't think they should be using a nickname, but that's just the way they go about it because they have a rare name. Then for some reason, I got the name Esther. Esther. This seems to be relevant for some of you. Also, one more thing I wanted to say, it's almost all female names that I got for your pile. I cannot force any information, but for you, it was mostly female names that I got. So you likely have at least one female soulmate. It doesn't matter if you're attracted to men, women, or both. You likely have a female soulmate, and they don't even have to be They don't even have to be a romantic soulmate. They could be a soulmate that you have a very strong friendship connection with. Just putting that out there. So the next name was Esther or Esti that I got, Esti. Again, the last thing I heard, it wasn't a specific name, but I heard new for your soulmate's name. So you're going to translate the word new into whatever language you speak, and then you're going to come up with some type of name, hopefully. That's not going to resonate with all of you, but some of you. So if you do speak another language, translate this into your language, the word new, and see if you can come up with any names. I tried to do it myself, and I got like Arata, I'm not sure if that's pronounced correctly, which would be a Japanese name, or Apurva, which would be an Indian or Hindu name, okay? Those are also names that I got for your group. And that's it already with the names. Now we're going to get to some numerology. And I'm asking Spirit to please provide us with some important numbers in this connection for everyone who's attracted to this image and their soulmate. What are some important numbers? First off, we've got number 5. Okay, immediately I'm feeling May, or a 5-year age difference, possibly. Then we've got 6 as well, so 5, 6. And what's another important number in this connection? No way, you see that? 7. Like, we literally got 5, 6, 7 as your important numbers. And there's like so many options on this dice. And yet it was fate for you to hear these 3 numbers, 5, 6, 7. I really think that for you guys, this might be talking about an age difference of 5, 6, or 7 years. Also, it likely means that you are going to meet this person in the spring, summertime, between May and July. That's another thing that I'm getting. There's a lot of earth in this pile overall. So again, they could be an earth sign, they could be American, they could be Jewish, or they could be Native American as well. And yeah, as far as the numbers, 5, 6, and 7, it could also be a date, an important date, the 5th, the 6th, or the 7th of a month, where something is happening in this connection, all right? And yeah, that's it. Thank you so much, guys, for listening in. This was your reading. I really, really hope that you enjoyed this type of content. If you did, then don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I've got a lot more cool stuff planned, some original ideas that I wanna make a video on. So please show your support by subscribing. Thank you so much, guys. And if you want, follow my Instagram. Thank you so much. And I hope to see you guys soon. And most importantly, I hope you find your soulmate soon. I hope this was helpful. Goodbye. Hello there. If you chose the 4th group, if this was the image you were most drawn to, then this will be for you. So this is what we're about to do. I've already channeled all the potential names for your soulmates, and I'm about to write them down and let you have a look at them. And then when we're done with that, we're also going to be having a look at some important numbers that could possibly signify ages, dates, or age gaps, okay? So I do want to give a little disclaimer before we get started. You have to remember that this is a general reading. So not all the names that I'm about to tell you are going to resonate with you. In fact, there might just be one name in particular that's meant for you, okay? So be open. Maybe there's multiple names that are going to resonate, but you're certainly not going to resonate with all of them. That should be clear, because there's a lot of people watching this. So yeah. Also, if you happen to speak another language, feel free to translate any of these names into your own native language, especially when there's a name here that's used differently in your language that's still going to resonate. I am including names from different cultures here, but I do want to give this disclaimer. Okay, so let's get started with the names. I'm really excited for this. And let's see what I've channeled for your group. The first name, which was really interesting that I got, was Praveen. I hope I pronounced that correctly. And the female version would be Pravina. It's the first name that I've got for your group. So I looked it up online, and I found that in this is the Hindi version, and in Arabic, this same name, or a similar name with the same meaning, would be Mahir. I hope that's pronounced correctly. And in English, it will be Dexter, okay? So that's the first group of names that I've got for you, group number 4. So Then, which was interesting, I got a big group of names all surrounding the word Dre. So your soulmate's name could potentially be Andre, Andrew, Drew by itself, or it could be Andrea, DeAndre, or Andy. Maybe Dre by itself, but I do feel like a lot of your guys' soulmates have a Dre or an Andre somewhere in their name. So any of these names are relevant for you. Look out for those. Also, what I got was Agnes. It's a rather specific name. Another form would be Agnetha or Enos. I guess the male version would be Egon, so that could also be relevant for your soulmate. Then I've also got, I saw like a halo. I want to say that I've got a lot of different names for your group. There was really an overflow of names that kept on coming in. Also a lot of names that sounded similar. And then I saw this vision of an angel. So I really do believe that your soulmate's name could have angel or halo in it. First of all, I've got halo. So I looked it up and that's not really a name, but there's the names Hala, which is an Arabic name, the name Hila, and Hale. Okay, Hale. And I forgot Haley. And then there's this big group of names including Angel. So if your soulmate's name is not Angel by itself, it could be a variant of the name Angel. So that could be Angela, Angelina, Angelique, Angelica for the female names, but it could also be Angelo. Or, yeah, I think that's all that come to mind. But your soulmate could very well have the word angel in their name. That's what I really got for you guys. Then, interestingly enough, I've got the prefix Ray for you as well. So your soulmate could be named Raymond. That's what I got. Also, it could be Roman or Ramon. If you add an A to that, it would be the female version, okay? And also, I got Romeo for your soulmate. Their name could also be Romeo. Then the next big group of names that I got, again, for you guys, I've got so many names. That's not the case with every pile that I've done so far. And the next big prefix for your soulmate's name was Dan. Dan. So your soulmate's name could very well be Danielle. It could be Daniela. It could be Danielle or Dana. Your soulmate's name could also be Danilo. Or they might go by the nickname Danny. All right. Then the next big group of names that I got all had a BL at the start. I wasn't really sure what name it was in particular, but I did get Blair or Blaze. I hope that's how you pronounce it. Blair, Blaze. Also Blaine, Blanco, and Balash. Okay. So your soulmate is also likely to have a BL at the start or somewhere in their name. That was really evident for me. And I do want to stress this again. We're not talking about one person here. Like this is not one person that has all of these names. Obviously, different names are going to resonate with different people. Then the next thing I did is I looked at some tarot and I did my own research since I did get the strength card. Then I looked up online what kind of names mean strength. I do want to write this down here. Strength. And what I want you to do is think of your own native language. If you happen to speak another language, think of the word strength and what that means in your language. Your soulmate is likely to have a name that means strength in your language. So I did my own research, and these are the names that I came across. The first one was Oswald or Ozzy. Then I've also got Matilda or just Tilda by itself. I also had Apollo come up, or Mafalda. Alternatively, you could also be Maud. And then I came across Trudy as well, so it could also be Trudy. So these are all the names that kind of have a similar meaning, which is strength. And yeah, those were all of the names for your group. Now we're going to have a look at some important numbers in this connection. I'm going to ask Spirit to please assist us and tell us about some important numbers in this connection between this person who was drawn to this image and their soulmate. What are some important numbers here? First number is 3. That's really important between you and your soulmate. Number 6. And number 13. Another 3. So we've really got like 3, 13, and 6. That could mean that there's a 3-year age gap between you and your soulmate, or a 6-year age gap. That's what I was kind of picking up on. Also, it could mean the 13th, the 6th, or the 3rd of a month where something significant is happening within this connection, but this could also be talking about the months March and June for you specifically. But if you add 3 to 3, then it becomes 6. So yeah, I really do think the number 3 and 6 are the most important here. Alternatively, we've got the number 13, which is often considered the unlucky number, and that might just mean you might meet your soulmate at a really tough time in your life. A lot of the times you say, I'm at the right person at the wrong time, and that might be one of those cases here with the number 13, but it could simply also just talk about a date, like the 13th of a month, where you're either meeting this person, or maybe that's their birthday, or yeah, an important anniversary takes place, whatever resonates for you. They could be going by any of these names in their first, middle, or last name. So yeah, thank you so much guys for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed this type of content, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, turn on post notifications. I plan on uploading a lot more original content. I've got quite a few ideas that I know you're going to enjoy. Also, if you want to follow my Instagram, that would be super cool. And with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you all find your soulmate soon. Hello there, and welcome to everyone who chose the 5th group. If this was the image you felt most drawn to, then this is meant for you. So here's what we're going to do in today's video. I've already channeled the names of your potential soulmates, and I'm about to write them down and let you have a look at them. And then we're also going to be looking at some important numbers that could possibly signify dates, ages, age gaps, or maybe even years. So before we get started, I do want to give a little disclaimer. You have to remember, it's especially important in this video, that this is a general reading. So not all the names that I'm about to tell you about are going to resonate with you. In fact, there might just be one name in particular that is meant for you to hear, and that is the one for you. Or you might resonate with multiple of these names. You're just gonna have to go into it openly and see what happens, okay? Also, I do wanna say, if you happen to speak another language and any of these names might have a different meaning, or if any of these names are used differently in your language, then feel free to translate them and it is still going to resonate, trust me. So, as for your pile, I do want to say this was a very interesting pile to channel for. And I do want to say that your soulmate is very, very likely Asian. The reason I'm saying this is that most of these names I got were of Asian descent, specifically Korean. I don't think I had a single Korean name in all the previous pals. I've also got quite a few Chinese names, and I believe a Japanese name as well. So I do want to point out that your soulmate is very likely Asian, but they don't have to be. I've also got some Caucasian names in here. So let's just start off and see what the names are that I've got for your group. First of all, we've got names that evolve all around fortune. We do have the Japanese name Mizuki. And we have the name Farrokh. Farrokh, I believe that is a Persian name. That means something along those lines. Then I've got Kalyan or Kalyani. I believe that is a Hindi name if I'm not wrong. Then I've got the names Shankara, Shiva, and Shubham. I really hope that's correct. So Shankara, Shiva, and Shubham, those are the names. Now I have to say I don't speak Chinese, and I know that Chinese names are constructed differently, but I did get this in case your soulmate is Chinese. He likely has these in their name. I don't even really know how to say it. Hie or Ye and Yi. And I've got more to come, but that's for the first part that revolves all around fortune. Oh no, and then there's one more. Jia, Yia, the Korean word Seo. I don't speak Korean either, so forgive me if I pronounce any of them wrong. In specific, I got Seo Yoon or Seo Jun, okay? Also, it could be Seok. All right. As for the second batch, I do want to say that your soulmate is likely named after a stone. I'm just going to write down stone. So what I mean by that is your soulmate could have a name such as amethyst or jade or any other stone that comes to mind. Also ruby, amber, topaz, emerald. There's many of them. Pretty much, they could be named after a stone or a mineral. Then we also have the name Gemma, or just simply gem as in gemstone. Then we've also got Stanley. We've got Shannon. That is not a stone, but I still got Shannon for you as well. That's kind of what I was feeling, Shannon. Then we've also got Mason. We've got Thorsten. We've got Itziar. And then I've got quite a few more Chinese words that might be in their name. Those are Shi, Lei, and Yu. And then I've got the Korean name Jimin, okay? Jimin. So those were like the two big groups of names that I've got for you. And now I'm going to tell you about some names that I channeled myself that I specifically heard for your group. The first one being something with Pete. So your soulmate's name could be Peter, it could be Petra, it could be Pierre, it could be Pierre, or it could even be Pedro, okay? Then I've also heard Nat, so your soulmate's name could very well be Natalie. It could be Natalia. It could be Nat or Natty. It could even be Natasha or Latasha, okay? Those are also names that I heard for your pile. Then additionally, we have the prefix L that is really, really relevant for someone here that's listening in, because your soulmate's name likely starts with an EL or has an EL in their name, such as Ellen, Ella, Elliot, Ellie. They might go by the nickname Ellie a lot. Then Eleonora or Eleanor. I've also got Nora and Nelly, okay? Additionally, I've also got Nora and Nelly for your soulmate's name. Then there is a Turkish name that I got. I really think this is meant for a specific person here that's listening in. It's Get, okay? And then I received something along the lines of Isaac. Isaac, for someone's soulmate here that's listening in. Isaac or Isaac, maybe it's spelled with a K or a C, doesn't matter. For some of you, your soulmate's name could be Isaac. And then finally, this is the last one that I've got. It's something like Zena. Zena, for your soulmate's name, could be Zena or Zenaida. I looked it up, and there's different forms of this name. It could also be Zenaida, as far as I'm concerned, okay? Zena, Zenaida, Isaac or Isaac as well, okay? So those are all of the names that I've received for your group. Remember, you're not going to resonate with all of them. There might just be one of them or a few of them that you are meant to hear. Now let's have a look at some important numbers in this connection. So let's have a look. What are some important numbers in this connection, Spirit? Please assist us. Could we get some important numbers? First of all, we've got the number 18. The number 4. And the number 3. Wow, I think I've gotten the number 3 like 2 or 3 times now. But for you guys, the numbers seem to be 18, 4, and 3. This could mean March and April. This could also mean the 3rd, 4th, and 18th of a month. This could also mean you're meeting them when you're 18 years old. This could also mean that there is a 3 or 4 year age gap between the two of you. So that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for listening in. If you enjoy this type of content, make sure to subscribe to my channel and turn on post notifications. I've got a lot of awesome original ideas that I'd love to make videos on, so please show me that you enjoy this video by liking and commenting. Also, if you want, follow my Instagram. That would be super cool. And thank you so much for listening in. I really hope that this was helpful, and I hope that you are able to find your soulmate soon. Goodbye, guys. Hello everyone, and welcome to everyone who chose the 6th group. If this was the image that you resonated with the most, then this will be for you about your soulmate. So here's what we're going to be doing today. I've already channeled the names of your potential soulmates, and I'm about to write them all down and let you have a look at them. And then we're also going to look at some important numbers, whether it be dates, ages, years, anything that we can get, and it will be open for interpretation, all right? So I just want to give a quick little disclaimer before we start. You have to remember that this is a general reading, so obviously not all of the names that I'm about to write down are going to resonate with you specifically. In fact, there might just be one name in particular that is meant for you to hear, and yeah, you're gonna have to try and figure out whether something's meant for you or not, or you can be open about it and write down whichever names you feel like you want to remember, all right? So yeah, also if you happen to speak another language, feel free to translate any of these names into your own native language. For example, if there's any name that is used differently in your language, then it is most certainly going to resonate as well. Also, I do have names from different cultures, but I did want to say that nonetheless, if there is a name that is used differently in your language, it is still going to resonate, all right? So let's start and have a look at the names that I've got for you. The first big group of names was all about the name Tiana. So the first group of names is female, but I did get something along those lines, Tiana, or it could be Tatiana. It could also be Tatienne. Tanya. Or even Tiffany. That's what I got for your soulmate. This is the first big group of names, definitely with a T at the start. Female name with a T. So then the next group is all about the name Sam. Okay, but there is the option of them being named something like Samantha or Samuel. What I felt even more strongly were the names Samir or Samira, Samar or Samara, Shamil, and Sami or Sammy, okay? Then additionally, for you guys, I've also got the name Ismail for your soulmate. Their name might be Ismail, okay? Then the next group of names that I got was something like Joaquin, I hope that's pronounced correctly, or Joachim, or it could even be Akim, okay? That's the next group of names that I've got for your soulmate. Then if we look at female names, it could also be Akira or Akari. And yeah, that's it. So then I've had a lot of female energy come in, and I got the name Roxy or any of its variants. It could be Roxana, Roxanne, something like that. Okay, they might go by the nickname Roxy. I also had Rosanna or Roshana come up. Rosanna, Roshana. Then I've got the names Huang, Hui, and Ming come up as well. I believe I looked up what they meant, and they had a certain meaning to them. They're all, if you speak Chinese, then you might or might not recognize that they mean something similar, because I did have a word come up as to what the name means, but I forgot what it was. But I do believe they all mean something like, I think it was bright, but I'm not 100% sure. But I did get these names as well. Then next up, we've got Alfonso or Alonso. For someone that's listening in here, your soulmate's name is Alonso or Alfonso. Then I don't know where these names came from, but these were pretty random. I also got Chad and Wes, okay? So for some of you guys, it is Chad and Wes. I do believe, since it was so random, that this really is meant for one particular person that's listening in, perhaps, okay? So your soulmate might be Chad or Wes. If you're feeling these names, then this might actually be meant for you, Chad and Wes. Now, the next big group of names was all about Ash. An Ash name with the prefix Ash, so that could be Asher, it could be Ashley, Ashlyn, whatever other names there are, all right? It could also be Ashton or Ashleah. If there are any other names with the prefix Ash you can think of, they're still going to resonate, but this was like what I got in particular, Ash, okay, in their name. Then the next big group was all about Bia. I'm gonna write it down right here. It was all about Bia, so there is the name Beatrice. There's also Beata. And Trixie, believe it or not, I've also got Trixie for your soulmate. Their name might be Trixie. All right, then we're almost done. And the last thing I got wasn't really a specific name, but I did get the color brown in regards to your soulmate's name. So think about the color brown. I'm just gonna write down brown in your language and what that means. And your soulmate likely has a name that correlates to the color brown in your language. I did my own research because I thought, well, is that even possible? And yes, I did come to the conclusion that there are some names that do mean brown in different languages. So I came across Aruna and Arun, also Kapila, then Tawny, then also Bruno or Bruna, Hari, and Duncan. That's the last one, is Duncan. And that's it. With all the names I've channeled or guessed for your guys' soulmate. I really strongly do believe that if you felt drawn to the red pile, that there's one name among these that you were meant to hear, that this might be the name of your soulmate, all right? Now we're going to look at some numerology. We're going to have a look at some numbers. And I'm just going to ask Spirit to please provide us with some important or the most important numbers in this connection between whoever felt drawn to this pile and their soulmate, please. First of all, we've got the number 10. Number 9. And number 6. So for you it is 10, 9, and 6. Those could, obviously they could mean October, September, and June in terms of what month you might meet them in. They could also mean that you're meeting them on the 10th, the 9th, or the 6th of a month. They could also signify an age gap. So your soulmate might be 6, 9, or 10 years older. They don't have to be, obviously, but for some of you, they could be. It could also be about their birthday, when their birthday is. So yeah, I guess you're gonna have to wait until you meet them and write these numbers down and see if they have any importance in that connection, all right? So yeah, that's all I have for you today. I really hope that you did enjoy this reading, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I've got a lot more cool ideas, original ideas that I'd love to make videos on, and yeah, I would love to have your support more than anything. So show it to me by subscribing, turn on the bell, and yeah, let me know your thoughts down below, whether this resonated or not, or maybe you might not know it yet. Also, if you want, follow my Instagram, that would be super cool. And with that being said, thank you so much. I really hope you all find your soulmate very soon. Goodbye. Hello there. If you chose the 7th group, if this was the image that you resonated with the most, then this is for you. So here's what we're gonna do. I've already channeled the names of your potential soulmates, which was really hard for your group specifically, by the way, but I'm gonna get to that in a second. And I'm about to write them all down and let you have a look at them. And then we're also gonna have a look at some numerology, some important numbers and dates that we can possibly get. All right, and before we get started, I do want to give a little disclaimer. You have to remember, I need to stress it for this reading in particular, this is a general reading. So obviously not all the names that I'm about to tell you are going to resonate with you. In fact, there might just be one name in particular that you are meant to hear that is about your soulmate. Because you have to remember there's a large amount of people watching this and you can't all have the same soulmate, right? And one last thing I want to say is if you happen to speak another language and you know about a certain meaning of a word or a name that is different in your native language, or if there's a commonly used variant of any of these names in your native language, then it's still going to resonate. Remember that, because there's so many different ways a name can be spelt or a name can be used. So yeah, feel free to translate, but I'm also going to tell you when to translate, okay, in case that's necessary. I do have a lot of names from different cultures on there, but still I can never translate everything into every single language. So yeah, let's have a look and let's get started. I want to say that your pile for some reason was the hardest pile to channel for. I had a really hard time. I was actually thinking of reducing it to 6 piles only because it was so difficult for me to get pretty much any names, but I did it anyway, and I do feel like you're meant to hear this. And the reason for that might just be, I don't know what the reason is, but the reason might be that your soulmate has a really rare and unique name, because no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't really get any specific names. I did get some, but the other ones were pretty much, I used tarot for a lot of these names, okay? But we're gonna get to that in a second. The first cue I got for your soulmate and their name was the word north. So they might actually be named after a direction, or their name might be derived from the word north, and that could possibly be Norma, Norman, or Norbert. Again, if you happen to speak another language, translate that word into your language, and that might be a part of their name. So next up, Again, I had a really hard time, but I did pick up on the fact that your soulmate might be named after a place. Like we've got I don't know, your soulmate is either named after some direction or a place, specifically city. And there's so many cities on this earth, I cannot name them all, but your soulmate is likely named after a city. So when you come across someone and you're like, oh, isn't that a city name as well? Then that's your cue. Ah, that's my soulmate. No, but for real, some examples would be Adelaide, Alexandria, Chelsea, Dallas, Denver, Florence, Geneva, London, Orlando, Paris, Savannah, Sydney, Vienna, Victoria. You know what I'm saying? They're likely named after a place or a city. So I'm just going to write that down as well. City. Then I did get a more specific group of names, and that is around the name Anne. For some of you that's listening in here, your soulmate's name is Anne or any of its variants. That could be Anne, Anna, Annabelle, Anja, Anita, Annie. Annie, I also felt this one really strong. I do believe that someone here who's listening in has a soulmate who goes by the name Annie. Maybe that's like a nickname. And it could even be Hannah. And the reason I'm looking over is because I do have my notes written there, because there's no way I'm going to remember all of this. So then we've also got Anish or Anish. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Then right after that, I heard India. I'm not sure if that's a name, if that's your soulmate's name, or maybe that is the place where they live. A lot of you guys have a soulmate that lives in India, or if not that, then their name might be India as well. Then I heard one more name, which was really random. It doesn't belong anywhere else. It doesn't belong to any group, but I heard Casimir. Okay, for some of you, your soulmate might be named Casimir. Now I'm just going to tell you about the rest of the names that I picked up on that were like spot on. This is the name. And then we're going to dive in a little more into name meanings that are like more vague. The next group of names that I got for you revolve around Val. So your soulmate's name might actually be Val. That might be their nickname, and their full name could be Valentine, Valentina, Valencia, or Valerie, something like that. All right. That's the next group I've got for you. And now this is where it gets a little more complicated. For you, I had to sort of look for name meanings and definitions more than actual names, because it was just so hard for me to find any. And I don't know why that is. Usually when I did the channeling before, it was more clear than in your case. So now we're gonna get to the name meanings. The first meaning that I got for your name through tarot and my intuition was victory. So your soulmate's name might be based around victory. So feel free to translate into your own language as well. And the names that I did do my own research on, obviously, your soulmate's name could be Victor or Victoria. Then it could be Sigrid, Siegfried, or Sigmund. Then it could also be Baram. I hope that's correct. Correct me if I'm wrong. It could also have the words J in it, or Jit. I think that is like an ending of a name, J and Jit at the end. Specifically, I got Sanjit for your soulmate's name. Then I also got Seong. Remember, I got these all by looking up names that mean victory, so that's how I got these names. Jay and Jaya by itself, that was also really apparent there. Now, then we have Nick, Nicholas, Nicole, and Nicola, okay? And alternatively, your soulmate's name could also be Colin. The next thing is that your soulmate could be named after a river, and it could also mean the word river itself. So if you translate the word river into your language, there might be a name that can be used in that case. Again, I did my own research and I got the names Giang or Jiang. I hope that's pronounced correctly. I also got the word he. That might be in their name. That is Chinese, so if they have a Chinese name, then this might be in their name, he. Alright? And the next thing that I picked up on is the fact that your soulmate might have a really sad sounding name, like something that embodies sadness. For example, an example would be Tristan or Dolores, which is like sadness and pain. Not exactly, but it derives from those words. And then alternatively, I've got Asiya. Then I've got Beth or Bethany, or even Elizabeth. Yeah, those are pretty much all the names I have for you. Remember that your soulmate is not going to have all these names. That would be a pretty long name. But what I'm saying is that you're likely to have a soulmate with one of these names, all right? So there might just be one. Again, there might just be one name that you were meant to hear that's on this paper, or that is similar to what's on this paper. Or maybe you can translate it into your own language. To be honest, this pile was more of a guessing game than an actual me telling you what their name is. If you have a look at different piles, I was able to get a lot more specific. But for you, for some reason, I really wasn't able to get all that specific. A lot of the times, as I said, it was a guessing game. I had to look up meanings for names because I really didn't get any clear information. I do believe your soulmate might have a really rare name. Or maybe their name is just not commonly used at all, and that's why I wasn't able to pick up on it. So let's have a look at some numbers. So Spirit, would you please tell us about some important numbers in this connection with whoever is drawn to this pile and their soulmate? Number one. A new beginning, a first for you. Important numbers within this connection. Number 7, the lucky number. What I got is that your soulmate might be 1 year older than you. Then we've also got the number 28. I think that's a birthday. Or it's the date where you're going to meet them. So as for the months, we have January and July. And we've got the dates, the 28th, but of course it could also be the 7th or the 1st of any month where something significant in this connection is happening. But the number 28 seems to be really, really important. I think it's either a birthday or it is the day where you're going to meet them, or your like anniversary day, whatever. But of course there can be friendly soulmates, so you don't have to be romantically involved with them. So that's pretty much it. That's like all the info I can give you. I know it was kind of vague, but that's really what your soulmate's name is all about. I really believe it's some kind of rare name that's not really used as commonly. I had to use a lot of tarot, but I did pick up on these important cues, like something about water or river. Then I got sadness, or like something like a negative emotion. Then I did get victory, and then I got like a city or a direction, like a physical standpoint on this earth. So yeah, I really hope that nonetheless I was able to help you out with this, and maybe you even recognize your soulmate's name on here, who knows. With that being said, thank you so much guys for watching. It really was a pleasure to give you this reading today, and if you enjoyed this type of content, please make sure to subscribe to my channel. I've got a lot more original ideas that I want to make videos on, and yeah, I've got a lot more stuff planned for you guys. So yeah, if you want, follow my Instagram. That would be really cool. And with that being said, thanks so much for watching. I really hope that you all find your soulmate very soon. Goodbye. Hey there, if you chose the last pile, if this is the image that you were drawn to the most, then this will be for you. So this is what we're about to do. I've already channeled all of the names of your potential soulmates, and trust me, you've got so many of them. There's been an overflow of information, and that hasn't been the case with all of the piles, but for this pile in particular, I've got a lot of names. I'm hoping I can fit them all into this piece of paper. And then we're also going to look at some important numbers, and those could possibly signify some dates or ages. We'll see. That'll be open for interpretation. And before we get started, I do want to give a little disclaimer, which is that this is obviously a general reading, and you have to remember that not all of these names are going to resonate with you. In fact, there might just be one name in particular that is meant for you, that you are meant to hear. And also, if you happen to speak another language, feel free to translate any of these names into your own language, or if I give you a certain word, then you can translate that into your own language and go from there. Maybe there's an alternative version of a name that I'm about to tell you that's commonly used where you live, then that's still going to resonate. Yeah, I'm gonna say let's get started. I'm really excited for this. So the first name that I got immediately was Leah. For your soulmate, it's either Leah, maybe it's spelled with an H, or Leah, like that. And it could even be Aliyah. That's the first name I got right away for your soulmate as to who they are. And then another name that I got was Ali for the male version. Then the next batch of names that I've got for you is Amar or Amara. Amar or Amara, and it could even be Ambrose. Then next up, we've got the letter T. And in particular, I've got the names Theresa, Tess or Tessa, Tracy, Terry, Theodore, Ted, and Teddy. So for someone here that's listening, you've got a soulmate with the letter T at the beginning, and in particular these names right here. Then the next group of names I didn't channel directly, but I got this cue about beauty. I'm just gonna write down beauty because I also use tarot to determine your soulmate's name, and I got to the conclusion that for some of you guys, your soulmate's name literally means beauty. So whatever language you speak, translate the word beauty into your language and go from there, see if you can pick up on any names. So I did my own research as well, and I came across some names that I'm about to tell you. We've got Bella for one, then we've got Jamal, we've got Hassan or Hussein, then we've also got Bo, we've got Zayn and Indira. All right, so those are the names of some of your guys' soulmates. Then next up, I did get a more specific name, and that is Joe or John in all its variants, okay? So your soulmate's name could be Joe, it could be John, it could be Joseph, or Josephine. The Joe is really significant here. For some of you that's listening in, your soulmate's name has a Joe in it, especially at the beginning. Or it could even be Juan, Juanita, Johan or Johanna. That's what really stood out to me. Could be Yaya, or it could be Sean. Okay. Then I got a random Chinese word. It doesn't really belong to any of these categories either, but if it's a Chinese name, then I did get the word Qi that is likely in your soulmate's name. Okay. Sadly, I forgot what it meant, but I do know that for some of you, this is in your soulmate's name. Then I've also got another random name that doesn't really belong anywhere, and I just sort of heard Earl. So the next one is Earl. Earl. All right, for some of you guys, your soulmate's name is Earl. What I want to say is that your soulmate likely has a very, very religious name, or a name that is very commonly used in your religion or in their religion, okay? They might actually be named after a religion. or as after a follower of that religion, okay? And I did come up with some examples. For example, they could be named Christian, or Christina, or even Christopher, Chris for what I know. Or they could be named Muslim, for example. You get what I'm saying? They could be named after a religion. I would say even goes as far as them being named after an important religious figure. That could also be the case for some of you guys. So their name could also be, for example, Jesus, or their name could be Muhammad. I'm not sure if the name Buddha is commonly used, but you get what I'm saying. They could have a name that is associated with their religion. For some of you guys that's listening in, and remember, only take what resonates. Then one more name that I got randomly was Grace. I would put that right here, Grace. So that might be their name, or their name might be Grace translated into your language. All right. And then I got a really specific phrase, which is gift of God. Gift of God. So maybe that's useful to some of you guys to translate gift of God in your own language. And then you can get a name perhaps. I'm not sure, but I did want to point that out. Like I got something along the lines of their name might be like they're a gift of God or something along those lines, okay? And then finally, I did get two more specific group of names that I did not have to interpret, like I just got them like. And those are, first of all, Dave or David, Davy or Davina. Your soulmate's name might have a Dave in it. And then finally, we've got all the different variants of Mary as well for your soulmate. So that so their name could be Mary, their name could be Maria, Marian, Miriam, Maya, or even Mara. If there's any other variants of that name, of course that's going to count as well. But yeah, those are all the names that I picked up on for your soulmate. So remember, there's likely one or two of these names that your soulmate is going to have and that you were meant to hear. Let's have a look at some numbers. Spirit, would you please assist us and tell us about some important numbers in this connection? Some important numbers, whoever's drawn to this image and their soulmate, some important numbers. First of all, we've got the number 27. Number 4. And number 5. Interesting. So, immediately I'm getting the months April and May. But of course, that could also mean the 4th or the 5th of any month. In particular, we've got the 27th of a month, or maybe that could also be their birthday. Then you could also meet them when you are 27 years old, or when they are 27 years old. That's what this could mean. Or additionally, it could mean that there's a 4 to 5 year age gap in this connection. Okay? Those are all the meanings that I can think of, but maybe these numbers have a different meaning to you, and that's fine too. And that's all I've got for you guys. I really, really hope this was helpful, and I hope that I could give you some more clarity. Just hope you're not too confused now after all these names, but I tried my best to help you out there, okay? If you enjoy this type of content, make sure to subscribe. Let me know down below. Subscribe, turn on the post notification bell, and if you want, follow my Instagram. That would be really cool. And with that being said, thank you for watching, and I really, really hope that you all find your soulmate soon. Goodbye.